Yes, I mean your first time.
Yeah.
How is the feeling? I mean touring Athletics Kenya,
Yeah.
the home of athletics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. I want to appreciate the Athletics Kenya, led by the president, the vice president, and the management, and the all teams from the various branches across the country. Today was my inaugural visit to this very important facility, the headquarters of Athletics Kenya, Riadha House, and I am really impressed by the reception that I've received. I just want to say that today was my visit to understand the programs that are being run by Athletics Kenya. As you very well know, Athletics Kenya is a very important stakeholder in the Ministry of Sports because of our performance as a country globally in matters athletics. And therefore, from the day I arrived, we have been working closely with Athletics Kenya, but I felt like I needed to have a personal interaction with the leadership of AK across the country. And I'm happy that we have leadership of AK from across all the branches in the country. Number two is that we came here to discuss the way forward. And very key for us as a ministry is our Talanta Hela program, which is basically, when unbundled, is key among, for this is youth development, the youth grassroots development. And we have discussed ways of enhancing the youth camps across the country. For the last, I have also been briefed, but for the last 2-3 years, as a result of the enhanced support for the youth program, we've been able to identify greater talent, and now we are ready as a nation to be able to wrestle back some of the disciplines that we had lost to other countries in the world because of our failure to invest in young people. Youth program, as you very well know now, for the last almost 10 years, although gradually, with an enhanced support of government the last 2 to 3 years, has produced some of the best athletes, Faith Kipyegon, Beatrice Chebet, Wanyonyi, Omanyala, and among others. We hope that through these kind of programs now, we will multiply maybe by 50 times, 100 times the number of young people we are going to give opportunities to grow their talent across the country. I am impressed by what I have been shown with youth programs happening across the nation, not in the traditional areas where we have had athletics. It is now across the country. It is the hope of my ministry that an affirmative action will be put in place to make sure that marginalized areas like Northeastern, Coast, Upper Eastern are going to be brought to the flock to make sure that we are having athletes from across the nation. And therefore, I look forward to, as I've told this team here, that I look forward to the next gold medalist in the next Olympics. For example, coming from Garissa or Wajir or Mandera or Tana River or places like Isiolo, Marsabit. And there's no reason why we should not be having already athletes from Marsabit, because across the fence or across the border, our competitors in the next neighboring country are neighboring Marsabit County. So there's no reason why we should not be producing the best athletes there. So youth development is very important. Number two is that sports facilities. I have promised this team here that in the ministry we are now ready to roll out our sports academies. We, as you heard me yesterday in Parliament, confirming that we are going to advertise the 33 or so youth academies across the country, sports academies across the country, and those ones are going to be constructed to the level where we have enough facilities accessible at the grassroots level in every constituency. In the end, as I said, 3, 4, 5 years, we should be able to construct a sports academy in every constituency across the country, and that is the place where we can give opportunities for our young people to train. The promised stadia across the country also are going to be completed. We know we have a pending stadium in Wote, Marsabit, Nyeri, Kamarin, in Iten, and Kapsabet, somewhere in Kericho, Bomet. We have a stadium pending in Migori. We have a stadium to be built in Mombasa. So all these stadia that we are trying to do to construct is to make sure that we tap and grow talent, and especially in areas that are high altitude and we have opportunity to bring athletes from all over the country to come and train there. We want to make sure that those areas have proper running tracks, and we want also to see how those facilities will hold also other training facilities, particularly in western part of the country, where we can get many sprinters. In Western Nyanza, we have many sprinters that have potential for having very good sprinters, yet the facilities and equipment is not there. So we are going to invest in that area as part of our sports activities, sports facilities across the country. The third issue that I want to say, which we've discussed, is the question of protection of our sportsmen and women, especially the athletes from gender-based violence and all kinds of violence. I know there's a discussion in the country now about femicide, and athletes have not been left behind. Some of the athletes, you know, the famous being Agnes Tirop, and then Cheptegei from Uganda the other day, and a few other athletes who have suffered across the country as a result of gender-based violence. And a lot of this is fighting over personal wealth for these athletes, money and their assets, like land and houses they have built. And we have said that we will work closely. I appreciate Athletics Kenya for establishing an office for athletes protection. But from a ministry perspective, I already established an office for gender-based violence and dealing with sexual abuse. But we are now in the process of getting the person who will sit in that office. And that person will be coordinating all the federations to make sure that they are all compliant in having protection of our athletes in every discipline. But we're also going to have to work with the Interior Ministry to provide standby security. And I'm happy AK also have a number where athletes can report violence. And we will enhance that by ensuring that it is within the ministry, but also work closely with the Ministry of Interior to protect our athletes.